viewers. Today we have Pranay with us. So Pranay is a master's graduate from Industrial Engineering from University of Windsor. Let us hear his experience of studying the course and the kind of opportunities he got through from the University of Windsor. Hello Pranay.
Hello, hello Venkatesh, and hello everyone. I'm Pranay Kumar Moratla. I'm from India, Hyderabad. Usually, so, I did my masters from University of Windsor, and my timeline was fall 2020 to December 2021. So, if you, I'm done with my masters in December 2021. In it's been like 1 year, 10 months.
Since you completed the studies in master's program in 1 year, 10 months, so I'm just wondering, was the post graduation work permit when it was given for how many years was it given?
So it was from I did my master. I completed in December 2021. So I got it. I got my scorecard in after Christmas holidays. So in the Jan. So after getting the scorecard and after getting the course completion letter from university, we need to have these two. We need to upload these two to the IRCC, and they will be giving the work permit. So because of the COVID and all the other stuff, all the other things, we were asked to just apply the work permit. So from the day you apply the work permit, you are able to work for 40
Right.
hours a week. I applied in February.
Right.
I was able to work, but I got in August. I got my like the form. I mean, like the printed form of my work permit. So from the date when I got, from the date to 3 years, I got it.
Okay.
Usually, I hope everyone knows that for 2 years of study, though my master's is 16 months, they consider it as 2 years. Government consider it as 2 years. So if you study for 2 years, you'll be getting 3 years of work permit.
Okay. Right.
So it's like 2022 plus 3, 2025. So
Right.
I have my work permit till 2025.
Right, right, right. So now coming back to the basic question of getting admission into University of Windsor.
Hmm.
So what it takes for a student to get admission into the industrial engineering program at University of Windsor?
So I could say the uh, the the processing time, the effort I took was less compared to the people who are trying now, because it was COVID period and there were no much like competition. There was not much competition when we applied, because it was COVID and no one was interested in the like applying for universities. If I am not wrong. So me and few of my friends, we applied, we got. So I didn't took much pressure because I was working.
And your statement of purpose,
Hmm.
how one must, what things to be taken into account to for that you think the university is expecting from the students?
So coming to the statement of purpose, I could say, see, the thing which I wrote, I can say, because I didn't read anything.
Right.
Though I was given some references, I didn't took anything. I was given some references for a standard statement of purpose. I read. I didn't feel like effective. So I wrote my own statement of purpose, like considering two main things for development from an early man to the to present era. There are two main things. One is the wheel, and the other is fire. But we mechanical engineers or automobile engineers, we use fire and wheel to run the whole world. Okay, so it's like fire burning inside a combustion engine, and which helps to run the wheels. So the movement of vehicles is the sign for development of world, if I am not wrong.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
this is what I wrote in my first thing, and next to that, I did diploma in mechanical engineering. I explained that because I was passionate in automobiles and these things. And next to that, I said after diploma in mechanical engineering, I took my undergrad in mechanical engineering. I did my BTech. So now I'm taking this, and that too, I'm just trying to opt University of Windsor. Though I applied for some other universities, but my intention was to get into University of Windsor. I even stated them that University of Windsor is the, what do I say, it's a border city, and it has many tier 1, tier 2 and other suppliers. It even has an OEM, and the General Motors is next to the Windsor, and it has many logistic companies in and around it. So the University of Windsor is my first priority. I said, and I covered all these things. It's like the reason behind taking that, your educational like reason, like you need to specify why you are taking. You're going to study there, so
Right.
you need to cover the education academics. After academics, you need a job.
Right.
So after academics, after graduating from university, you need to get a job, right? You need to show that there are many companies. I would like to join in that. So that's the next thing. So these two are the most important things, and the reason behind studying the mechanical engineering. These three I covered in that. Luckily, maybe they read it. Mostly they'll read it.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Uh,
do read it.
so,
Yeah.
so I felt the main important point was those two, like fire and wheel, because those are the important innovations for the development. Next to that, everything came up.
Right.
So that's the important thing
Right. Right.
which I covered in the my SOP.
Right, right. Very well said, Pranay. Like the way you explained was really nice. In terms of, and you also covered an additional point as why University of Windsor was
Hmm.
your preference,
Yes.
right? And I'm sure like you would have done a lot of research when you are applying for master's program. All the kind of universities where you think are potentially good universities
Hmm.
where you can send your applications. So I'm just wondering, can you name other best universities that you think were good, where all you are applying? And I'm sure like University of Windsor has a better edge in terms of the geographical location that you mentioned. But I'm just curious, what all the universities that students have in option?
I applied for University of Lakehead, University of Carleton, Waterloo University. I didn't took University of Toronto
Okay,
because it's too costly, and
okay,
University of Windsor. And University of Windsor was my first priority because, like, there are few reasons. One, parents, and the other thing is like job opportunity. Because one of my known sister, she studied in the same University of Windsor, same industrial engineering, and she got co-op, and she was working in a TRQSS company from co-op. She got a co-op in that company, and she became a permanent employee in that. So, like coming to the parents' point of view, what they want you to be in abroad. Number one. Number two, they don't want you to be in US. Like people, my parents, because US has a gun culture, they'll feel he'll not be safe. So
right,
number two, that. Number three, if you compare US and Canada currency exchange,
yeah, yeah,
60 80. So that's the other thing. The most important thing is the sister about whom I said,
right,
she
right,
got she graduated, she got job, and she was in Windsor when I moved there.
okay,
So she is like an important person to me,
right,
and she helped me a lot,
right,
like getting a part-time job,
right,
um, make sure I was settled up there. She
right,
even looked after finding a room
right,
before I moved there to Windsor.
yeah, yeah,
So these were the important things.
yeah, yeah.
While for considering Windsor, if I was not able to get into Windsor, maybe I would have tried for other universities.
Right,
But
right, right.
luckily, I got it.
That's great.
Hmm.
So true, like having a relative in the
Hmm.
city where we want to move is always a
Hmm.
good. Like having a relative or a very close known person. Why I say this to students is that there are some times when students get spammed by some people in terms of finding a room or when they want to deposit some money in
Mm.
through, they try to find it through Craigslist or some third party websites, where sometimes people will get duped from abroad, saying that here is a room, everything they will show, but when you come here there won't be anything. So it's always good that you cross check through a known relative, or you pay the rent or deposit through someone whom you know, whom you trust, so that as you can do things from India or some other country and you come to Canada, things will be little peaceful. That you know that someone whom you know has actually went and seen the house and met the person, met the house owner, and have paid them the rent, and keep things in a little bit straightforward, right? Yeah. That
She really helped me a lot.
yeah, yeah. Or sometimes the students also go through the option of finding something in the university itself, some campuses for a short time, and then after coming
Mm.
here, they will try to find some place outside, and then they move around when they can themselves go and visit the house and visit the homeowner. I know that people sometimes book Airbnb for just a week or 2 weeks, and then come
Mm.
here and then try to find a rental space, and then they go there and stay there, even though if the first 2 weeks is little costlier in Airbnb. Better not to get duped is something that they do. That's
Yeah.
great. You covered those
Mm.
points. That's great. So you mentioned about the part-time jobs in doing in University of Windsor, but I was expecting that you were doing your course through online. So when did you come to Canada? Whereas during the time of and how things worked out then?
So my course started in fall 2020, but I was doing my online studies. So I was in India and I came here on February 21, 2021. So after coming here, like no one was allowed into university. So because of the sister's help, I was able to get a part-time job in Circle K as a customer service representative. After that, I got some part-time job in some like thrifty showroom, Value Village. So she was the main important thing to get a part-time job. If at present, like people who are coming right now, they are desperate to get a part-time job right now. What I would suggest you, people like them, is like try to find a person who works in a part-time job, like your seniors or people like me who worked previously, who can refer. Number one, because when I was in Windsor before moving to Toronto, if someone like meets me, one of my friend works as a manager in a Taco Bell. So I would suggest him to go to the Taco Bell. He's the manager there, and drop your resume, and I'll ask him to give you a job. And luckily, I was able to give a part-time job for one or two people.
Right.
So, like, you need to have a friend who works in a better
Nice,
position,
nice. Yeah, yeah.
and you need to have a good heart to like help them, help
Right.
others.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, so that luckily, without friend, I was
yeah.
not able to do that.
Yeah, yeah,
So I was having friend, I helped them.
yeah. Right.
So and next to that, while before coming to Canada, Style Narula was also a YouTuber. He was having a group on Facebook. So I was one of the member in the Facebook group, and like I used to interact with people. So I request people who are coming right now, or people who are in Windsor or Canada and looking for part-time jobs, try to find some groups like that and interact with them. And if you get a job, that's very good. If not, they'll some or the other will help you.
True, true, true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like interact with the people, like some group, some
Yeah, yeah.
WhatsApp group or some other group.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the important thing.
True,
I
true.
could.
Sometimes the best possibility to find such groups is the university's Facebook page itself, where the
Yes.
incoming students for the upcoming year, or those who got the admission for the recent year, they will they will introduce themselves, who
Hmm.
will then connect with themselves to form a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group for that incoming year, and then they will share their each other's knowledge of how they are processing their probably education loan, or how they
Hmm.
are finding a room. Everything they will share, right? That's great.
Hmm.
Nice. So can you please tell me about your course? I know that you studied online, but how the course was structured?
Course, like we have in like 12 months or 16 months of span. Each 4 months will cover one term or one semester. So each semester you need to take two courses. So in each, like there are four mandatory courses, four optional courses. Four mandatory courses are like maths, engineering, technical communication, and these four common subjects, and the four optionals are the courses which covers the industrial engineering. Okay, like I took lean management, robotics, product management, and CAD. CAD because I worked as a CAD design engineer. That that was the reason I took. So these four will be the main important thing to get a job or get an opportunity in some co-op or something. So I like people who are coming here. I would suggest before getting into university, they're asked to take the co-op.
Right.
So take the co-op. You'll be having 8 courses. Four are mandatory. Yeah, there's no need to pay much attention to that. But pay attention for these 4 courses. I suggest everyone to take lean. Lean management is most important course, which will help you in a long run, and which will help you to get a job in companies, because that's if you are a mechanical engineer, you'll come to know what is a lean. I would suggest them to take logistics also, which I didn't took, who are studying in Windsor mainly, because there are many logistic company in and around, and there are like logistics goes like there are transportation between US and Canada. So mostly the business depends upon the logistics. So if you take the logistics, you can get an opportunity to get an opportunity in logistics in environment or else the area. And design, because there are Chrysler, Ford, GM. These three companies, they work with tier 1 suppliers, tier 2 suppliers. So they need a design support, CAD design support. So please, if possible, take that. If you have some experience like me, that will really help you. So next to that, I would say robotics, because my company and some other companies, whatever they produce, they use robots. So if you study some robotics, that will help you. So whatever the courses which I covered you which I explained you, they'll help you to get a job. That's the reason I took those courses. Next to that, if you have experience, mainly the core engineering subjects like core engineering jobs like mechanical, civil, if you have experience, that really helps you. If you don't have experience, try to take a course, try to get some extra knowledge next to the course. Like when you're free, try to get some extra knowledge on that, and get a job. That's it.
Right. So these four courses that you are mentioning, or other courses as part of this academics in University of Windsor, are they project based courses?
There are two things. I took M engineering, masters in engineering, which is course based, and other is MSc, which is theory based, like PhD, which is
Thesis based. Okay.
PhD thesis based.
Right.
They do the research and these things, and they have an opportunity to get what do I say, the graduation assistant. They can be an assistant to the professor. So that's the other thing actually, which I was not clear, which I am not sure.
Okay.
But you need to do thesis. It takes a little more time compared to the course which I took,
Right.
but that will help you. Yeah, that will
Right.
help you.
In course based master's program, were you asked to do some projects as part of an end exam kind of?
Yeah.
Right.
We were asked to do projects.
Right.
If I take lean management, we were asked to study previous lean applications in different companies. and we were asked to study that and apply the same lean management which were not used in that.
Okay.
So while coming to CAD, we took CAD course. We were asked to design some. Professor usually gives us the design.
Okay.
We need to design the part. We need to get the 2D design, and we need to present it in the last with FEA finite
Okay.
element. Like we need to do the analysis also. So these are the like usually the course we'll be having assignments, we'll be having internal exams, we'll be having a project, and finally the final exam.
Nice.
So all these. Well,
Right.
coming to even robotics, same. We were asked to like study about the robotics. Usually, professor he was very good. He explains everything and he'll give us the project.
Right.
And we need to just change the parameters coming to the robotics.
Okay.
And we need to present our final project.
Right.
Coming to the robotics, we have only internal exams,
Okay.
but main project was the final exam.
Right. Right. Okay.
Not
Nice.
just
Nice.
this subject, every subject has internal project,
Right.
final presentation, and final exam.
Right. Right. Yeah. Thereby, students can present what they have done when they want to find
Mhm.
the job as well. They can speak
Mhm.
about their projects and the kind of that will speak about the kind of knowledge the students will have, something what they have gone through, right?
Mhm.
So here I have some interesting question. So you did your diploma in mechanical engineering and then a BTech in mechanical engineering and then came to University of Windsor. So something, how did this particular master's program
Mhm.
transformed you? As someone who already knows so much in mechanical engineering, how did this master's program transformed you from this University of Windsor? Yeah.
I could say thanks for the question, which is very good question. I could say I did mechanical. I did mechanical same diploma, which
Right.
is like polytechnic and masters. But the thing which I took is an industrial engineering. Though industrial engineering is similar to that, I took a different option. We have automobile, mechanical, and industrial. I took industrial because there are in and around Windsor there are many industries. So that's the first option. And I was not like I don't have much knowledge about lean management. Though I have like outer knowledge or else a very little knowledge regarding the lean management, how the products are being produced. So all these things. So that's the reason I took lean management because the mechanical engineering usually, if you consider BTech or else undergrad, they'll just cover you the theory. They won't go for a production uh, area. But coming to industrial engineering here, I was able to know some production, how the production works, how the production companies works, and how it will help you to get a job in a like tier one supplier or OEM.
Okay.
So that's the important thing. If you see, which I said you earlier, there are many companies which are helping these three OEMs, mainly GM and this Windsor Windsor Mold. It's a it has a production, it has a design at same within the Windsor. Well, coming to like company mine, the company where I'm working right now, we have we need to look after the design, we need to look after the production. So all this comes, I could say, they all cover the industrial section.
Okay.
So industrial engineering literally helped me to cover all these things.
Great, great. Right. So now coming to the important aspect, like financial aspect. So
Hmm.
how much does the course cost at that time, and how do students manage this cost?
So I could say, like I was after getting the like approval letter or else offer letter from University of Windsor, I was asked to pay 10,000 Canadian dollars as a GIC, which like most people pay that. And when I consulted my consultancy, like how much I need to pay for to make sure my I have an seat at University of Windsor. So they asked me to pay like 2,500
Okay.
at the University of Windsor. Like firstly, to
Deposit.
make sure
Yeah.
I have an
Yeah.
industrial engineering
Right.
master's degree.
Deposit. Yeah.
So that was a deposit which
Yes.
will be considered under the course fee.
First time fees. Yeah.
But coming to the course fee, we were asked to pay around 4,200, 4,300. I kept the tab on my screen. 4,312 was the course fee for each course
Okay.
in 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
But now the course fee was 5,187.
All right. Okay.
So like around 800 has increased. Like 2023 fall
Right.
is 5,000 change, and fall 2021 was 4,300.
Right. Right.
Oh, this has been a headache to students who are coming right now,
Right.
and that's it. Like eight courses into four,
Right.
32. Like you can say 35,000 Canadian dollars. Only these fee, and next to that, you need to pay some extra fee like for health. Green Shield, we have Green Shield, and bus pass,
Right. Right.
and other community, some other things, and
Right.
you need
Right.
to pay around $600 for co-op.
Right.
We were
Okay.
not having co-op, but people who are coming right now, they can pay around 600
Okay.
to opt co-op option.
So that was my another additional question. But before coming there, how do you yourself or your friends
Hmm.
manage that amount? So how do students generally
Hmm.
manage that such an amount of say $35,000 Canadian
Hmm.
dollars? How do one manage the such from a financial point of view?
Financial point of view, like usually, like everyone takes loans
Okay.
from India, and we were not asked to pay the whole course fee at once. For every semester, we were asked to pay. That's how most universities work. So
Right.
I paid my first semester fee.
All right.
I moved till December. After December, I paid one more semester fee. Uh, I was working in India, and my parents helped me a
Right.
little. So I used some amount
Right.
to pay my initial semester fee,
Okay.
and later I took education loan,
Right.
and I paid the rest
Right.
university course
Right.
fee.
Yeah, yeah. So, is there any scholarships provided to master's course-based students? No.
No,
Right.
no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
But if you are studying undergrad, we'll be having an option to get an scholarship.
yeah. Okay.
But if you are studying masters MINch, you
Okay.
don't have an option.
Right, right.
But I feel uh, studying masters in University of Windsor is better than studying undergrad, because undergrad is like twice or thrice the amount of the amount which we usually pay,
Right, right.
and the scholarship which you get will be around 5%, I believe,
Hmm.
and
Correct,
that too
correct.
only few people will get. It's
Right.
not like Montreal, which I saw in the previous video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We were not having any scholarships.
Right, right.
Sorry
That's
for
fine.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. So
Hmm.
you were mentioning about the co-op internship from the University of Windsor. So when you were studying, I know there were a lot of lockdowns going on. So,
Hmm.
but usually is co-op part of the master's program? How does it work out?
So it's optional,
Okay.
number one.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to take co-op, I would suggest everyone to take co-op as an option.
Okay.
If you get a co-op, you're really lucky. And if you, it's like the sister
Right.
about whom I said, if you take co-op as an option, then what you need to do is like you need to take two courses in the first semester, second semester three courses, and the other semester three courses. You need to complete the whole 12 courses, I believe, 12 courses in the first three semesters, and the last semester you need to do co-op.
Okay.
Okay, and co-op, they won't add the co-op in your academics, but they'll show you under your scorecard
Okay.
that he or she did co-op, and this was his score or her score.
Okay. Right.
And finally, after graduation, no
Okay.
one will care about score. The
Right.
only thing they care is like whether they got a job
Right.
and whether they were able to pay their like loans, student debts, and everything.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's it, I
Yeah,
could
yeah, yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah. So when you were in University of Windsor, how
Hmm.
much? I know that you did not opt for the co-op during that time,
Hmm.
but do University of Windsor has any special programs or departments to help students to find co-op? Do they help prepare resume for Canadian standards so that students can apply, or is there any university portal where they can apply? Can you please give us some information on that?
Like coming to resume build up,
Mm.
there are few things in the library, lady library we have.
Mm.
They literally help us to build like how we need to build a resume and how we need to portray that.
Mm-hmm.
Lady library will literally help you.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, there are few things, but I was not sure,
Mm-hmm.
like because we were not allowed to go into university, everything was online and we were doing part-time jobs. We didn't pay much attention to this, like whether we have uh, like yeah, groups
Mm-hmm.
or some communities which will help to get a job.
Okay, right, right,
So I was not sure,
right,
but I believe that we have. But
right,
coming to lady library, we have like they literally help us to build the resume.
right, right, right. And was there any specific channel when you are when you graduate and find want to find for a full-time job? So when do students start applying for such full-time jobs, and how do one has to approach the companies to find the full-time jobs as part of University of Windsor students?
So, like from my personal experience, I would say first build your network. Like try to contact me, try to contact people like you on LinkedIn. Number one, build your LinkedIn properly because LinkedIn is the one platform where usually like employers usually see. And if you have a proper LinkedIn, which is
Right.
not a fake experience, try to keep your LinkedIn link on your resume, which I usually do. I'll keep my name and my LinkedIn link. If they want, they can just go into that and see.
Right.
Number two. Number three, try to find jobs on Indeed. Here in Canada, according to my knowledge, LinkedIn and Indeed, these two are the like major platforms where you can find mechanical core jobs. So simple, build your network.
Right.
Try to connect people like you, me, and
Right.
some a few people who have experience.
Right.
If they have some vacancies in their company, for sure, ask them to please help
Yeah, yeah,
me.
yeah.
I'm looking for this job. I have this experience.
Right.
Number one, building the network. Number two, same, apply for jobs on LinkedIn or Indeed.
Right.
And number three, try to get a reference from your professors. That will literally help you. My lean professor, he is a director in a Chrysler company, I believe. So if he gives you a letter, like a recruiter will close his eyes and he'll take you because a letter from a university professor, and that too next to that he is one of the board members from Chrysler, will literally help you, right?
Right.
So be good with your professor, get like LORs or a letter of recommendations from your professors. That will literally help you.
Right, right, right. Awesome.
Mm.
That's great. So, yeah, we spoke about the internship co-op experience. Now, coming to the city of Windsor itself, I know that you came to Windsor at the peak of winter. So, how is the winter in Windsor, and how one has to? What are the precautions that one has to do for as he travels from a tropical country or some other Asian country? What are things that you think that people can do as for the winter?
So
Adjust for the
coming
winter.
to me, I was having a sister who
Right,
was helping me.
right.
So she suggested me to bring mainly the Indian food,
Okay.
like all the pickles, all the food. Don't carry much stuff. Try to bring few dresses as you are going to have totally online. so you don't need much
Oh, yeah, yeah.
laundry, she said. So I took a very less laundry, but I took much food items from India, and winter clothes. I took thermal wears, two sets of thermal wears, but they were not working fine.
Right, right,
I, it's better come here buy something which works to this environment.
right.
uh, and winter shoes. Just after coming here, it's better to buy not at the Decathlon in India.
Right.
I would suggest them. Next to that, try to find people like friends who can help you, because I was having two friends, Amardeep and Tanmay.
Okay.
They literally helped me, and when they were affected with COVID, I was able to help them,
Okay.
though it was COVID era.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have friends. You need to have an important person who can help you, who is your senior. Uh, that's it. Food, food is the most important thing. Usually, your parents won't leave you
Right.
without food.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Clothes. Don't buy thermal wears or something from India. But come here, just buy. It won't be much costly. Same winter shoes. Buy here. Windsor, I could say now the bus frequency was high. When I was there, it was very less. Now you have a bus frequency, very good bus frequency, but it won't cover the whole city. It will cover only the main area. Now, when I was in Windsor, the like rental cost was less. I was able to pay around 300 and 350 for a single room. Now it is costly, like around 500, 550.
Okay.
That's it. Bring some amount from India
Right.
just for initial days. Get used to the environment around you. Find few people, chill up and enjoy. That's it.
Right, right, right. And I think one more additional point will be to, since you mentioned about the bus routes, it
Hmm.
is always good to find a rental place where bus frequencies are good. So that
Hmm.
obviously, as a student, for international student, you won't be having a car or a driving license. So
Hmm.
to have a rental house in the route of where bus frequencies are good, it's always good for you to commute to university. And if you want to commute to some groceries in the weekend, it is always good, right? Yeah.
Yes, they will be having you Windsor bus pass, so they can use that. And now the bus frequencies are very high, so they have good bus facility.
Right, right, right. Great, great, great. So, so is there anything specific you would like to share from your experience with the viewers?
Yes, like at the end, I want to share few things. One, how to get a how to get a job after your masters, and what's the need of getting a job, and what is pinch. Like most people don't know what is pinch in India. Like when you are graduated, or like when you are done with your BTech, right? You'll be called as engineer. But here, even after your masters, you are not called as an engineer, because there are few things. According to the Canadian government, you are not allowed to use engineer term next to you. So you need some experience to that. So when you are done with your masters in industrial engineering or automobile or uh, mechanical, get a job, use some experience with your experience or some connections in LinkedIn or people whom you know. Get a job. That to get a job in like a knock very good knock jobs. Work for 2 years and apply for pinch. So when you apply for pinch, you will be like EIT. Initially, it used to be engineering in training. That engineering training will also help you to reduce your insurance, car insurance. Now they removed the EIT, and you are able to apply for professional engineer of Ontario after 2 years of experience. So I will be able to apply for that in February
Okay.
2024. So apply for that. So after getting that, like take some people, make sure the company where you're going to work has at least two pinch engineers.
Okay.
So they will be referring you
Right.
for professional engineering.
Right.
That Pranay Kumar working under me. under me. Like I'm the supervisor for him,
Right.
and one more person is there. Like he will be telling the Pranay Kumar, he is my colleague.
Right.
They'll be writing two LORs for me
Right.
for professional engineering, and you will be having some ethical exam.
Right.
So try to get a job in a good company
Mm.
where at least you have two professional engineers,
Right.
and apply for professional engineering, get LORs, write a this ethical exam.
Right.
After when you are professional engineer,
Mm.
you'll be having at least 100K job,
Right.
100K salary.
Right.
For mechanical engineers, you won't get much salary initially,
Mm.
but in a long run, you will have a stay like at least 100K if you get
Right.
a professional engineer.
Right.
The whole reason of the whole this interview
Mm.
is not just to get into university.
Mm.
Everyone's like aim is to come here
Mm.
and earn some money
Mm.
after was studying, right?
Right.
So if you consider university studies and everything as 50%, I would suggest you to consider other 50% is getting a job,
Mm.
getting a professional engineer,
Mm.
and get good salary,
Mm.
and that to get placed into tier one or OEMs.
Mm.
So that's up to like people who are going to watch this.
Mm.
Uh, don't think about only the master's study and all these things,
Right.
because the end of the day you need to pay all your debts.
Right.
So get a good job,
Right.
build a network, and
Mm.
that's it.
Right, right. Well said. Thanks a lot, Pranay. I'm sure the
Hmm.
viewers will find a lot of useful information from the valuable informations that you shared. Viewers, this is the experience of Pranay, and like I always say, this is a guidance, and you do your research from where you want to go, where you see yourself in next 5 years. Based on that, you do your research. Like Pranay said, there are a lot of options after doing mechanical in terms of the master's program like automobile or mechanical or industrial engineering, and you choose the options based on the research that you do and things that will best suit your future goals, and a lot of things that Pranay discussed here in terms of why Windsor, and a lot of things like how things got into place. So take it as a guidance and do your thorough research, and mainly I re-emphasize on doing the thorough research, because not to get fooled or spammed by people, because it is the student's life, it is our life that we are putting in stake as we move traveling from the different country to another country, which is a very big decision, and it is always good to do the thorough research first in hand by the student himself, and know what they are doing as they are proceeding for a higher education in a entirely different country, for sure. Thanks a lot, Pranay, for joining today.
Like one point I would suggest everyone is like don't run behind part-time jobs.
Mm.
If you run behind part-time jobs, you'll end up being a manager in same places where you are working as a
Mm.
part-timer. I would suggest don't pay much attention to that. Just pay attention to your studies,
Right.
get a good job,
Right.
and you'll earn well. If you like mostly the mechanical engineers, these people what they usually do is they'll just compare with the software engineers.
Mm.
They are getting like 40 per hour, 50 per
Mm.
hour, but we are still getting 24 per hour.
Mm. Mm.
They usually compare.
Mm.
But if you get a PH, right,
Mm.
you'll be the par. You will be the same earning,
Mm.
and you won't have much stress like a software engineer.
Mm.
You'll just enjoy.
Right, right, right.
So that's what I say. So that's the reason I say go for PH.
Right.
And mostly like if it's up to you, if you did masters in industrial engineering or some other thing, and you did AWS or some other course and go, if you are trying to move into some
Mm.
software,
Mm.
that's fine. But if you are like people like me,
Mm.
or who is totally into mechanical or totally into civil,
Mm.
so you don't have an option.
Mm.
So just pay attention to your studies. Don't pay much attention to your part-time jobs,
True.
because they won't feed you in the long run,
True.
and you can earn very well.
True, true.
That,
The rewards after a proper graduation and
Hmm.
trying to be patient to find job in the actual stream that you wanted to do masters will be much more rewarding than trying to settle in a shorter run in some part-time jobs with a little meager increment as some with a
Hmm.
title stating as manager or something. It's always something will be much more rewarding in a longer run, just like Pranay saying. I think I heard this from many more students, and it's a very very
Hmm.
important point that masters students or students coming from abroad shouldn't fall prey into, right? Yeah, that's a very well said point, Pranay. Thank you. Thanks a lot